welcome to the Blue Plate Special. It is real live music right here. We are at Barley's for the Big Plate today in the Old City. Feel free to come join us if you like. But if you can't be here, know it's streaming live right now on all of our socials as well as our YouTube channel. Or you can watch them back later at your convenience as well. They are visiting with us from Middle Tennessee over in Overton County. And, well, they're right now having some flirting with that Americana chart as they start riding those charts. They got a brand new project we're going to be talking about here today. Y'all give a great big welcome to the Garrett boys, to the Big Plate, live from Barley's.
Well, I ain't ever going back to Akron. I don't care what your mama said. I ain't ever going back to Akron. Unless my body's grown cold and dead. I've been spending my time on a factory line. Rather be hauling logs instead. I ain't ever going back to Akron. I don't care what your mama said. Mother-in-law said you make a few calls by Monday morning. I was hired. Nearly 50 hours later, still breaking my back. Rolling them Firestone tires. The smell of that rubber was burning my brain. Enough to drive a convoy insane. Yeah, I'm thinking about leaving just as fast as I can. Put my Chevy down the southbound lane. I ain't ever going back to Akron. I don't care what your mama said. I ain't ever going back to Akron. 'Cause my body's grown cold and dead. Been spending my time on a factory line. Rather be hauling logs instead. I ain't ever going back to Akron. I don't care what your mama said. That white concrete is all I'd see, no matter which way I went. When pity comes, it ain't much fun when that money's done all been spent. Yeah, none of these people wanna talk to me. I think I about had it. If I was a head out now, maybe somehow I'd see my baby before the sun come up. But I ain't ever going back to Akron. I don't care what your mama said. I ain't ever going back to Akron. 'Cause my body's grown cold and dead. Been spending my time on a factory line. Rather be hauling logs instead. I ain't ever going back to Akron. I don't care what your mama said. Yeah, I've been spending my time on a factory line. Rather be slopping hogs instead. I ain't ever going back to Akron. I don't care what your mama said. I don't care what your mama said. I don't care what your mama said. Thank you so much. Thank you all for coming out. Thanks for DVX for having us out today. Thanks for Barley's for hosting us. We're going to do a tune that you might be hearing on the radio. We were blessed enough, lucky enough to have our musical hero, Mr. Steve Earle, join us on this track. And we're still kind of pinching ourselves. But this song called Back Home. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Day I left Tennessee, I swore I had to go. Couldn't tell me Thank y'all so much.
Oh, it's the Garrett Boys with us here today on the Big Play, live from Barley's. So, Overton County, it's just up the road a bit. Not how far? An hour, maybe?
Yeah, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, something like that.
I think.
Depends on how fast you drive, I guess.
Jay Clark says he can get there an hour and a half, but I'm not sure what speed he's going. And those cops in Overton County.
Oh yeah.
They don't like speeding up there at all, do they, Andy Perkle? Anyway, so we spent a lot of time up that way. So it's a family band. Obviously, you can hear the family harmonies going on up here. So give us the story. I mean, obviously, two of y'all started playing together before the third one came into the photo here.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we played music our whole lives together, starting in the living room, and then ventured out from there. And, around COVID time, there was just something kind of bubbling up in us. We were getting older. We were seeing ourselves going back home for things like funerals and things like that. And there was just a bubbling up to start sharing our story and our history a little bit through song.
So, this new project that you have going on is basically, I read that every song on it is some sort of history about the land.
Yeah, several of the songs are basically songs based on true stories that our family and especially our grandfather kind of passed down through the years. And then some of them are sort of based on being inspired by that. But many of them are straight up true stories, yeah.
Do you ever lie?
Well, yeah, there's a song we'll do a little bit later that is based on a true story, but when we wrote it, we couldn't get a hold of our grandfather to figure out exactly how the story went. So I consider it to be about 89% true, which is pretty good, I think. I'll take it.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
That's most of the way.
Yeah,
true.
most of the way, yeah.
All right. So, who's doing the writing?
All three of us, really. Yeah. All three of us have. I started doing most of the writing, then Russ and I started joining in, and then when Carter started being part of the group, my son here, he started joining in with us, and these last couple tunes that we wrote for the record, all three of us were on, so we'll be doing that going forward.
Do you ever write with people outside of the band?
Sometimes. This next song we're going to do, we co-wrote with a guy that we knew from Nashville that's a songwriter guy, and so we will occasionally do that and maybe look to do that on future projects, but yeah.
You had some
mostly just us, though.
You had some fancy guests join you.
Yeah, we did. We had Daryl Scott, our native Overton Countyan, join us and play banjo on the record. And then, as I mentioned before, we had a guest appearance from Steve Earle, which was, like I said, we're still trying to figure out if that really happened or not.
He's probably wondering the same thing.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah.
So I can't really see Carter, but I can't imagine being in a band with my sibling. Do they argue?
They actually don't. They get along pretty good. I mean, there's some tense conversations sometimes, but it all ends in love.
Sweet.
We got all the fist fighting out like before we were teenagers. Yeah. Go out on the yard, and we had a set of boxing gloves, but we only had one set, so we would you take the left and I'll take the right, and then put the other one behind your back.
He always wanted me to have the left one, of course, because
Yeah.
we're both right-handed. So.
But then once he got a little bit older, I kind of was like, we can settle this in other ways, I think.
The only thing better than loving what you do is loving who you do it with, y'all. You can find more information by visiting the website there, thegarrettboys.com. Now, you have a second chance to see them on Sunday as they'll be out at the shed at noon.
At noon, yeah, for the Sunday brunch.
Their Bluegrass Brunch Day. And so they'll be out there for that. And then again, May 23rd, they'll be performing at Jammin' at Hippie Jack's once again. So you can find more information and a complete tour schedule by visiting thegarrettboys.com. I'm out of the way, y'all. It's the Garrett Boys on the Big Plate, live from Barley's.
Thanks. A couple hundred years ago, two Garrett boys moved west and settled up in Overton County, where we grew up on some land that Russ and I were lucky to grow up on, and Carter and I just moved back to, actually. Farming land when we were kids, we didn't love doing the work. When we were away, it was like, I think I'd like to do that. And now that we moved back, we're about to find out, I guess. A song called Me in This Land. Caught my share of catfish in all these little ponds. Over time we let them go. Now they're almost gone. Guess I'll always have the memories of these hills and growing up. Lately I've been wondering if that's gonna be enough. Maybe it's just dirt. Maybe they're just trees. Maybe I'm just romanticizing history and the way things used to be. Now, to be honest, not sure I even understand, but there's something between me and this land. Raised up in this cabin great granddaddy built by hand. Those winters wasn't easy, but they made me who I am. Hauling hay and feeding horses, fixing fences, cutting wood. Yeah, things I swore I hated, now I'd do them if I could. Maybe it's just dirt, maybe they're just trees. Maybe I'm just romanticizing history and the way things used to be. Now, to be honest, not sure I even understand. There's something between me and this land. For 6 generations, this deed has held our name. Oh, blood, sweat, and tears, they all fall in vain. There's an auction sign out by the road, yeah, and here I stand, the one letting go. And maybe it's just dirt, maybe they're just trees. Maybe I'm just romanticizing history and the way things used to be. Now, to be honest, not sure I even understand, but there's something between me and this land. Oh Lord, there's something between me and this land. I failed to mention, we were talking about songs for the record. We actually have a couple songs. One song my grandfather wrote and a song that my father wrote. We'll do that one a little bit later. But this is a song that our grandfather wrote. He used to play it around all the time, and I assumed it was like a Hank Williams song or a Johnny Cash song or an old bluegrass standard. And I asked my dad one day whose song it was, and he said that is our granddad's original song. So this is an Edwin Garrett original right here. This is a song called Drag in the River. Well, I'm going on a long, lonesome journey. I won't even bother to pack. He said, one-way trip that I'll be taking. Yeah, I'm going, but I won't be coming back. Oh, Lord knows I'm going, but I won't be coming back. Let's go. And they'll drag in the river tomorrow, from the bridge down to the old pine trees. Yeah, they'll drag in that deep muddy water, but they won't Now don't say my name, just forget it. Erase all those old memories. Oh, yesterday's gone, just regret it. 'Cause tomorrow it never can be. Oh, Lord knows tomorrow it never can be. Hey, they'll drag you forever from the bridge down to the old pine trees. Yeah, they'll drag in that deep muddy water. They won't find nothing of me. Oh, Lord knows they won't find nothing of me. Say they won't find nothing of me. Thank you. That's an Edwin Garrett original. This next one is that 89% true story. There's the highest point on the property we grew up on and we just moved back to is a spot called Pond Ridge. It's unique. It's sort of a mountain top and it flattens out and has a pond on top, like a kind of a swampy pond kind of place. And it's really cool, actually. But this song called Pond Ridge. I wasn't looking for trouble. I wasn't looking for nothing. I was just trying to get away. Maybe do a little wandering. Lift my pickup truck out where the road ends. Looking back now, wish I'd have just got back in. I've seen things I wish I had. I've been scared, oh, but not like that. I've never seen evil or looked it in the eyes, but I'm pretty sure I did that night up on Pond Ridge. Yeah, up on Pond Ridge. Well, I could see a little campfire down towards the lake, so I took off walking that way. I thought I heard somebody crying, thought it might have been a fight. Probably none of my business, how the sun just didn't seem right. I've seen things I wish I had, and I've been scared, oh, but not like that. I've never seen evil or looked it in the eyes. I'm pretty sure I did that night up on Pond Ridge. When the shots rang out, I shoulda couldn't run. She was barely still breathing. Oh, nothing else could be done. See, her folks would have nothing. Her loving a black man in the South. They had to be together forever, the only way that they knew how. Now I've seen things I wish I had, and I've been scared. Oh, but not like that. I've never seen evil or looked it in the eyes. I'm pretty sure I did that night up on Pond Ridge. Yeah, up on Pond Ridge. Thank you. going to have a seat on this one. I just had foot surgery a while back, and this is the longest I've stood up in quite a while. So, working our way back. Mentioned our grandfather. Russ and I grew up next to our grandma and grandpa, which is a huge blessing, and they were just, just salt of the earth kind of people, and, not only had amazing influence on us and our family, but also the community. When they fell in love, they were too young to marry, according to the state of Tennessee. But they wouldn't let that stop them, so on Valentine's Eve, they headed down to Mississippi, snuck out of the house, headed down to Mississippi, where they could tie the knot before a judge. When they made it back home, my grandma's mom was none too thrilled about it. And she said, "Peggy, you have led your ducks to a bad pond." But they were married 60-some-odd years, ended up being a pretty dang good pond. Beautiful love story. Thought it needed a song. This is the Ballad of Ed and Peg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. The son of a logger and a bricklayer's daughter fell into something that few rarely find. Despite the warnings from her mother, she led her ducks to that water. Her eyes would shine brighter when he'd come around, and she'd smile when he told her she'd be the only one he loved. So on Valentine's Eve, everyone was asleep. She climbed out her window into his passenger seat, went off to Mississippi where no consent would be needed, and stood before a judge and the Lord up above. He swore on everything holy that she'd be the only one he loved. And soon they'd have 2 daughters and a boy in between. Time would move quicker than they could have dreamed. Days turned to memories, beginnings to endings, like life and fast forward on the screen. Now her health had been fading, that there's no doubt. There was just certain things that he couldn't think about, like holding her hand by a hospital bed and saying goodbye until they'd meet again, or how to deal with the lonely, knowing she'll be the only one he loved. Thank you so much. It's a ballad of Ed and Peg. Let's see if I can stand back up for a minute. Well, we did one that our grandpa wrote. Now we're going to do one that our dad wrote. We started getting this Garrett Boys thing together. My dad sent me am I missing one?
Skipping one.
I'm skipping one. My bad. All right, well, we're going to do a whiskey song then. you lived up in our area where we grew up, long before we grew up there, as it was for most people in rural America, it was hard to make ends meet at time, and that would lead folks to relying on government subsidies and things like that, things like government cheese and those sorts of things in order to make it, just to make it for the poor folks up there. It also might sometimes lead to entrepreneurial endeavors that might run sideways with the local law enforcement. If you know what I mean, our family's no different, but the story goes they weren't too good at it, but once they got the operation up and running, the old man leaned up against the tree, proud that everything was going, and sent the boy back to the house to get some snacks. He leaned up against the tree and said, "Boys, we're making wildcat whiskey on the government cheese." We thought that ought to be a song, so here we go. Well, now time's been tough, yeah, there ain't no doubt. Standing in a line with my hand held out. Be a heap ashamed that he saw me this way, but what's a man to do? Ain't no brick to be laid. Make some wildcat whiskey. Make a little wildcat whiskey. I tell you, life ain't easy, but it sure is sweet. Making wildcat whiskey on the government cheese. Come on. Well, now fishbone clearance keeps a running that mouth. Pretty soon they're gonna have to find a new route. Dog walk road, man, are covered in fuzz. Running out, they'd be begging for a bus. Big wildcat whiskey, big a little wildcat whiskey. Run a little wildcat whiskey now. Make a little wildcat whiskey. Tell you life ain't easy, but it sure is sweet. Big wildcat whiskey on the government cheese. They say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Should he come sneaking around, what's the sheriff gonna say? To a steady lookout with an old tin gauge, slid a common rail from 50 feet away. Big wildcat whiskey, make a little wildcat whiskey. Run a little wildcat whiskey now. Make a little wildcat whiskey. Tell you life ain't easy, but it sure is sweet. Big wildcat whiskey on the government cheese. Oh. Keith Sewell, yeah, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Should he come sneaking around, what's the sheriff gonna say? To a steady look with an old tin gauge, slid a common rail from 50 feet away. Making wildcat whiskey, make a little wildcat whiskey. Run a little hog eye whiskey now. Make a little wildcat whiskey. Tell you life ain't easy, but it sure is sweet. Making wildcat whiskey on the government cheese. We're making wildcat whiskey on the government cheese. All right. Thank y'all.
It's the Garrett boys with us here today on the Big Plate live from Barley's. Quickly, I need to mention that support for the WDVX Big Plate comes from Barley's right here in Knoxville's Old City, home of the Big Plate, and they take very good care of us. Please take good care of your servers and bartenders, as well as support comes from Visit Knoxville. Now, a little thing I want to tell y'all about the Blue Plate Special. Y'all know that we are under renovations right now up at the Visitor Center. So starting in March, we're going to be here through May, Thursdays and Fridays. We're adding an extra day here of live music. So, yeah. Starting, I guess it's, whatever the first Thursday in March is, we'll be right here. It will be a blue plate. We're going to call those blue plates and keep these big plates just just for the sake of, you know, keeping the names straight. Anyway, the days straight. Whatever. So, let's see, what else? So, I want to mention that if you sign up, you can sign up right here today for our newsletter, Holler. And we're going to keep you updated because through that newsletter, because not only are we adding Thursdays, but as we go into the spring and the summer, we're going to be adding more shows at different locations, and we'll keep you updated right there. Next week, here on the Big Plate, the Dumb Store Cowboys will be coming down from the Kingsport area to be with us, and you can find out more about that at WDVX.com. Benny, come here and tell them more about new things happening at the station and remind them about those ticket giveaways.
Thank you, Red. Yep, again, we are registered for tickets to see Croce Plays Croce. A.J. Croce covered a lot of songs of his dad, Jim Croce, and some other stuff. That is Saturday, March 14th, Tennessee Theater. It's right over there on the chair next to the Garrett Boys merchandise. And you don't have to be here to win. We will reach out and let you know exactly if you won those tickets and where you can pick those up. So that's just part of giving back to you guys and thanking you all. We want to say a great big howdy to all of our new friends in Gatlinburg, Sevierville, and Pigeon Forge as we just signed on, just signed on a new translator at Ober Gatlinburg this week at 93.9 FM. So when you go get your Hard Rock candy, your saltwater taffy, your airbrush T-shirts, and your old-time pictures in Gatlinburg, you can listen to WDVX long and strong, baby. So we want to say hello to all those folks in Sevier County listening down there. We got a lot more planned, a lot of exciting things happening at WDVX, and it's all because of your support and Barley's support and people like that. So we want to say thank you for that. Be sure and register for the tickets, and don't forget to tip the band because they're doing a great job today. Thank you all.
I also want to mention that it runs deep out there streaming on all those music platforms, as well as it looks like you got CDs and vinyl available.
Yeah, it's kind of secretive, but it doesn't come out till next week, but we may or may not have some hard copies here.
I mean, I just said they might.
Let's just
have
keep it
some
between us.
Over there, just saying. So you can be ahead of the curve, y'all. Certainly shake and howdy with them afterwards. And they're not finished by any means, but once again, I want to point out the love bucket.
Thank you.
Because it's small today. So we want to make sure it's overflowing by the end of the show. Thank y'all for being here. I'm out of the way. It's the Garrett Boys on the Big Plate live from Barley's.
This is the song that I tried to set up before that our dad wrote. Stories about him hearing, stories he heard from his grandfather about riding the timber logs down back at the turn of the century, 1900, early 1900s. Dangerous work that folks did, but they were desperate for work and would do it. And that's what this song's about. It's called Ride the Timber Down. He said 21, but his face said 17 when he asked to ride the timber down the Obi River to Salina, Tennessee, on to Granville and all the way to Nashville town. Ride the timber down, the cow paths boom, there are plenty of good men drown. Ride the timber down, don't let the rope get slack, better have a good man on the back when you ride the timber down. You could hardly hear his voice over the axe and crosscut saws as the trees fell on the wilder mountainside. There's a log jam on the West Fork, but the water's moving fast. Soon it's time to let the timber ride. Ride the timber down, the cow paths boom, there are plenty of good men drown. Ride the timber down, don't let Hush fell on the crew as he called them into rise. Name of Robbins, name of Little, name of Jones. He said, we'll clear the wolf by morning, we'll tame the water wild. Otherwise they'll never find our bones. Ride the timber down, look out past Boone, there are plenty good men drowned. Ride the timber down, don't let the rope get slack, better have a good man on the back when you ride the timber down. Better put a good man on the back when you ride the timber down. Thank you. That's a Marty Garrett original right there, buddy. Well, before music was about selling concert tickets and albums and billboard charts, music was the sound of the land and the song of its people. And Russ and I worked in the music industry for a few years and just felt something bubbling up, like I mentioned earlier. And it was time for us to give it a shot to tell the story of our people and be the sound of our land and the song of our people. And if people love it, great. If they don't, then, well, we love it. And this is a song about that. It's a song called Who I Am. Lord knows I've done some rambling. These wells have carried me far beyond these hills of Tennessee. Feels like gambling, it's all that I can be. Keep those days from sneaking up on me. It's who I am and what I was when I thought I hadn't seen enough. Scared of giving in or giving up. Standing way down in this cold now, I can hear an echo and it's rising up from some time long ago. Built on something deep, raised out of sacrifice, and that ain't cheap. Oh, but I hear things are passing, this talk of running free. There's a price to be paid for anything. 'Cause who I am ain't what I was when I thought I hadn't seen enough. Scared of giving in or giving up. Standing way down in cold. Now I can hear an echo and it's rising up from some time long ago. I'm coming around. Who I am, I'm coming around. Who I am. Here we go. What's in a place, what's in a name? Take a man from where he came. Something will remain. What's in this place? What's in this name? This land from where I came. I swear something still remains. Something still remains. 'Cause who I am ain't what I was when I thought I hadn't seen enough. Scared to death of giving in or giving up. Standing way down in this cold now, I can hear an echo and it's rising up from some time long ago.
Boys with us here today on the Big Plate live from Barley's. They've got time for one last tune here, but I want to remind you all, Sunday they will be at the Shed in Maryville at Smoky Mountain Harley Davidson at noon. So a second chance to get to see them later this spring, May 23rd, over there at Jammin' at Hippie Jack's. You can find more about that, jammin'athippiejax.com. It's that easy. Again, merch available. We always encourage our audience to chat it up with the band, shake and howdy, and thank them for being here with us today on the show. And again, we want to fill that love bucket here this afternoon. Let's see. Again, next week, the Dime Store Cowboys will be here, and you can learn more about them by visiting our website at WDVX.com. Again, there's concert tickets to sign up for, and if you want to keep up with what's going on at the station, because there's a lot, you can sign up for Holler on your way out the door. Thank you guys so much for being here. It's been really great talking to the three of y'all, but there's a phantom band behind you that we have not
Some adopted
acknowledged.
Garrett boys. Adopted Garrett boys, yeah.
Look,
We got Tucker Wilson back here on the drums. Everybody give it up for Tucker. And Keith Sewell on every instrument we don't know how to play. But we don't pretend to play. Maybe that's the
all right.
appropriate.
Well, we're going to get one last tune here today from the Garrett Boys on the Big Plate, live from Barley's.
Well, this is the name, this is the title track to the record called It Runs Deep. One of the last songs we wrote for the record, and it just kind of sums things up. I guess we'll let it speak for itself, but this is called It Runs Deep. There's a spot just out the mouth of Mitchell Creek where the grass and the red mud meet. You find Daddy underneath that summer moon, making them smallmouth feet out where it runs deep. Yeah, and it runs deep. Deeper than a Carter Creek Canyon, further than the boat dock road, way down the roots of this family tree to the core of me. Yeah, it runs deep. Oh, it runs deep. Granddad gave me my first six string, and I'd take it down to old Jack's place. It was Whiskey River every Saturday night and graves. It runs deep. Oh, deeper than a Carter Creek Canyon, further than the boat dock road, way down the roots of this family tree to the core of me. Yeah. Oh, it runs deep. My great-granddaddy was a gentleman, but he always wore an old buck knife. The night Billy hit his sister, he put that blade within an inch of that poor boy's life, and it runs deep. It runs deep now. It runs deep. Deep now, it runs deeper than a Carter Creek Canyon, further than the boat dock road, way down how it runs deep. Tucker Wilson, Keith Sewell, Carter Garrett, Russell Garrett. I'm Stephen Garrett. Thank you, DVX and Barley's. Thank y'all for coming out. We're Garrett Boys. Good night. Yeah. Thank you.
It's the Garrett Boys. Thank y'all. Join us again next time for more real live music on the Big Plate live from Barley's.